Welcome to the Coffee with Cheryl podcast, the podcast for women over 50 who want to live their best life right now. Imagine having the courage to reinvent your life financially, professionally, personally, and spiritually. Join Cheryl and guests as they share practical tips and resources to inspire you to achieve the lifestyle of your dreams. So grab your favorite mug. It's time for Coffee with Cheryl.
Welcome to the Coffee with Cheryl podcast. As for women over 50 who want to live their best life right now. This is our episode 29 in our series about women entrepreneurs over 50, and this is part 3. And my guest today is Sabine Mann, and you will meet her in just a few moments. I hope you are having a marvelous Monday. I am enjoying my coffee with Cheryl, and now I'm enjoying my coffee with Sabine. And so, like every one of our podcasts, we're going to begin with our quote, and then I'm going to officially introduce you to my guest. So I got 2 quotes today. We're talking about happiness, and you'll know why once you meet Sabine. So my first quote is, there are so many beautiful reasons to be happy. And that is so true. Secondly, it's happiness. It's a feeling that is created within you and by you. No one else can construct it and hand it to you. So happiness is from within. And I learned all about happiness from this beautiful lady here, Sabine Mann. Hi, Sabine. How are you?
I am amazing. Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm excited. Sabine is the CEO of Happiness Matters. She is an author. She's an exceptional entrepreneur, and I believe that. I've been had the opportunity to work with her. She's a transformational speaker, and she is a visionary. And I am so excited to have you with us. Say hello and tell us all about you, Sabine.
Well, hi, everybody. It is such an honor to be here. And of course, talking happiness, because happiness matters.
Right, it does.
Happiness absolutely matters, and it's a choice. We choose to be happy. And I put the quote on my website, and it says, I used to be sad with happy moments. Now I am happy with sad moments.
I love that.
Right? Because I used to be like deep down depressed and miserable, and the world is coming to an end type of thing, and it just I knew at some point there's more. It's like this can't be it, and I believe with every fiber in my heart, I believe as long as we draw a breath, there's a spark of hope within us.
So true.
And right, and my job, my calling is to help find that little spark and fan it into a raging fire. And it's so good. I love it. It's just
I remember the day we met. We were at a mastermind luncheon or training, and there was just something about her in the room. Whenever she speaks, there was just this glow around her, and we met, and we decided that we would catch up or connect afterwards. And I was so honored to be on your television show at the time. They did looked at Happiness Matters.
Matters of Perspective?
Yes, your TV show, online show. And just from the moment I met you, I just had to smile because you did bring out that happy part of me. And you do that. It's like about what you've been doing to help people. I know your whole perspective in your business is to empower people to be happy, and also to limit some of those beliefs that we bring forward from our childhood, from bad experiences, and we sort of get stuck in those. So about how you have gone through all the things that you've been in your life and found yourself here in this matter of perspective and this happy moment.
Well, like I said earlier, I mean, it was a long story, you know, the life of hard knocks growing up. I was born and raised in Germany. So, yes, I'm an import. I met my husband over in Germany. This Christmas actually will be 35 years. And I love telling people we met the old fashioned way. And I'm not promoting this in any way, but we met drunk in a bar. So, anyway, that was meeting my husband was a turning point for me, you know, because I mean, my grandmother showed me unconditional love, you know, but I never got it from my parents. And there was just so many things growing up that were detrimental to a young impressionable soul like me, you know. But when I met my husband, it was like, wow. I mean, first of all, I didn't feel like I deserved that kind of love because I never experienced it. But he showed me that, hey, you are lovable, you are worthy, blah, 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 all of those awesome things, you know, and it just slowly kept building from there. I mean, it still took a while after he and I met, you know, for me to realize it's like, wow, there's more. I always know there's more, you know.
Right.
And so we were stationed in Germany at the time. And back then we had one American channel on the Armed Forces Network, one. Now there's more, but there was one, right? But every day, Oprah came on. And at one show, she talked about a gratitude journal. Be grateful. And I was so miserable at that time. I was like, well, there's nothing to be grateful for. My life sucks, blah, blah, blah. I mean, but I have my husband, you know? And so I started doing the gratitude journal. And I don't remember exactly what she said, but the way I say it now for people to start with their happiness, it's like start with gratitude. Before you go to bed at night, write down 10 things you were grateful for that day. 10 things. And here's the thing, if 10 is easy, do 15. The last 3, 4 of them have to be hard. They cannot just be coming like boom, 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 right? They have to be hard. You have to dig deep because what that does is it rearranges your neural pathways in your brain because now you have to focus on the positive, right? And so I did that and it was hard. I mean, the first few weeks, I'm not going to lie, finding 10 things to be positive for was hard. But then I realized it's like it got easier. Aha. You know, and then it's like, okay, 10 are easy now. Then I did 15. You know, now I just go because I am so grateful for every single day, for everything, for the good and the bad. Except I don't call it bad. I just call it the not so good because everything is good. Everything is for us, not to us. That's the other thing, right? And
way to look at life, right?
Thank you. Yeah, but I mean, it takes practice. Here's the thing. It's like I always laugh. People are like, because I always say it is stupid simple. It is really stupid simple, guys. Is it easy? Nope. Nope. But it is stupid simple. The principles, everything is stupid simple. But you have to do it and you have to pay attention to it. And it's that awareness, you know, get off autopilot and step into what it is that you actually want and pay attention to your thoughts. You know, self-talk. Can I talk self-talk for a second? It's really quick.
I love those little roommates in my head. All of my roommates.
Well, here's the thing. Would you be offended if somebody talked to you the way you talk to yourself? Think about that. Would you be offended if somebody talked to you the way you talk to yourself? If the answer is yes, stop it. Just stop it. Yeah. Be kind to yourself. You are the most important person in your life. It all starts and ends with you. I'm not saying become selfish. Well, in a way, yes, but in a positive way. Right. You have to be okay.
Right.
Because if you're not okay, nothing around you is okay. If you're okay, you know, it's like, was it Wayne Dyer that said it? It's like when you change the way you look at things, the way you look at change, something like that. Does that make sense?
I know the quote. Yeah.
Right. You know, and it really, it's like what you think about really comes about. If you walk through the world with fear and gloom and doom, well, that's all you see.
All you're going to see.
That's all you're going to see. But if you start with gratitude, it's like, hey, do you know the best thing is? It's like, hey, I'm so grateful I woke up this morning. That's a great start.
Right.
You know? So you write down your 10 things and then you read them out loud and then you go to sleep. Because now you go to sleep on a higher vibration. Okay? Because the last thing on your mind, that's what your subconscious takes in overnight. Right? So you start up you end your day on a positive note. And then here's the thing, when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do is you grab your list and you read out that list loud. Now you start your day on a positive. And the other thing that does is, like, think about it, when you are on a food diet, you pay attention to what you put in your mouth. Well, now you're on a mind diet, on a mental diet. Now you have to do that gratitude thing. Well, you don't have to do anything. You get to do it, right? You get to do your gratitude in the evening. So now you're telling your subconscious mind, look for the good. Right. So because you have to write down the 10 things, look for the good. That's the message you're sending out. And you pay attention, do it for 30 days, just for giggles. You got nothing to lose, right? Do it for 30 days, but do a journal and write down, how are things right now? And then how are they progressing? And then in 30 days, you write down how they are. And then you compare. I was blown away.
A difference in the way you thought.
Yeah, I was blown away. Yep. But gratitude is where I started. And right. And then it built from there. You know, you learn to forgive.
Yeah. I want to, in that thinking, I want to talk about how when you start to do that kind of transformation, especially in our thinking, something, that's when we're able to start thinking about how do we change the life that we've been living. Because we have been pretty much on road in our 50s. Because we've raised our kids, we've done our whatever career, we're just living life. And then we wake up one day and we find ourselves, a lot of us, like, what next? And I know for you, when you got to that what next, and I'm sure it had a lot to do with how you look at life, you did some amazing things.
Thank you.
And I want you to tell us about that. How did you change or reinvent yourself in your 50s?
Well, I mean, it really, again, stupid simple. You make a decision. You make a decision. Once you make a decision, the universe, God, your higher power, whatever it is you believe in, they're like, oh, this is what you want. Okay, here you go. Have it all, have it now. Right? And then we figure out, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, this is great. This is not so great. This is great. And we take action. We take the action, because it's like, once I made this, so for me, it was April 1st, 2018 for me. And I believe 52. I don't math well, but I was over 50. Right. Anyway, so it was April 1st, 2018. And I was, at the time, I was still shooting all over myself, because I thought I should do this and should do that. So I was a mortgage loan officer and I hated it. I was miserable. I did it for almost a year. I did nothing because because it wasn't me. It wasn't what I was supposed to do. So at one point we asked our boss to get us coaching, to become better mortgage loan officers. How do we talk to people? So they hired a company here in Colorado, and we had to fill out the questionnaire, but it had nothing to do with mortgages. It was all about personal development. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at these questions. I'm like, what am I doing? I can teach this stuff. I have been teaching this stuff. What the heck is wrong with me? And I'm like, well, I'm done. I literally, this is what I did. I'm like, oh, screw this. I closed the lid of my laptop and I walked away. I quit. I sent in my letter of resignation right away and I quit. Right? So that is when I started actually stepping into officially the coaching. I mean, I've been doing it essentially my whole life. I didn't even realize it, but I stepped into it. And it was so funny because it's like, again, one of the chapters in one of my books is called Go with the Flow. Because when we're in flow, things just flow. If we're not, we run into obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. So the first 2 weeks of my new freedom, I was like, I'm going to do coaching and I'm going to put packages together. And I was like, yay, nothing happened. Nothing flowed, nothing. And I was like, okay, fine. What the heck? So I talked to for me, it's the universal infinite intelligence. So I'm like, okay, yo, listen, what the heck do you want me to do? And it was interesting because in that 2 week period, I had random people come up to me and ask me about my book. I was like, what book? I don't, and I was like, oh, you want me to write a book? and I was like, okay, fine. I said, but again, this is me. I said, fine, you want me to write the stupid book? Give it to me. Because, Miss Attitude, I'm a Leo. Plus, born and raised in Germany, I have a bit of attitude. And all I like the download I got is like, oh, finally, sit down, shut up, listen, and write. And in less than 3 months, I wrote and published this one called Happiness Matters, Unleash Your Superpower in 7 Easy Steps. And I really share my story in there and the steps I took to come out of it. I was like, good. So I wrote a book, and then, I started doing speaking, and I was like, but I want to coach. Well, clearly, I mean, I am coaching, don't get me wrong, but it's like writing books and doing the books apparently is a huge part of what I'm supposed to do. And then Cheryl approached me to be part of her first Becoming 50, and it's like, and it's just one thing after another. But again, it started with a decision. If you're in a point in your life where you say, and it doesn't matter how old you are, it does not matter how old you are. This age is just a number, right? But when you're in your life and you look at it and it's like, what I have been doing, what's going on is simply not working. I'm not saying quit your job, run away. I'm not saying that at all. Okay, but make a decision that you're going to make changes moving forward to live the life and live your purpose and what you are meant to live.
Exactly. And when you do, it's amazing how things just sort of, once you're open and you jumped out of that little comfort zone and it happened. And I know for you, something really exciting lately has happened. And I want you to tell us the both steps. And this, ladies, I want you to really listen to this, because this is a bold step that she took. And she took it because of all the things that had happened leading up to that.
Oh, I have chills.
I want you to tell us about your new venture and how it is helping people, and just all the excitement around what you're doing right now.
Thank you. Well, so it's it's new, but it's really not new because it's still coaching. So one of my big dreams, one of my deep down desires has always been to be a part of a big organization, be on the ground floor of an organization that really has a huge impact in helping others around the world. Oh, I have chills. Oh my goodness. Because it's so good. So, and I didn't know what that would look like. At one point I thought I would join one organization, and for whatever reason, it just never happened. Well, and this is the thing, guys. You put out what you want and you don't worry about the who's, the hows, the what's and whens. You just let it go and you trust that it'll happen. I wasn't worried about it. I just put it out one day, it's like, oh, I want to be on the ground floor of a big, huge organization that really impacts billions. I mean, everybody around the world. And it's just like, it went, and I went on my merry way, and then little things happen. And then earlier this year, so last year I went through breast cancer, and it's like, when you're faced with something like that, it kind of puts things in perspective a little bit. So I took a step back and I'm like, okay, what is it that I want? What do I really, really want? And I didn't get an answer. We don't always get the answer right away. But what I did get was, hey, you told yourself you would read 10 pages of a personal development book every single day, and you have not done that. And you've been telling yourself that for years. You have not done that. So guess what I did? I started reading 10 plus, but because it's like, they're so good. You can't just read 10 pages, right?
Right.
So I started it just, and so I started reading, and between October and now, I think I read about 40 books, right? But what I noticed earlier this year was they all had one thing in common. They all either directly or indirectly referenced Napoleon Hill and his principles and the teachings from his Think and Grow Rich book. And I was like, wait a minute. You know, of course, again, here's me. What are you trying to tell me? It's like, yo, universe, you know. and this is not disrespect. I know it may sound disrespectful, but it's by no means. I have the utmost respect for my higher power too, right? But I was like, yo, listen, what the heck? You know, and then the Napoleon Hill Institute put on a free webinar in January, which I signed up for, but I didn't show up because for whatever reason, you know, they put it on again in March. And that time was like, I was like, wow, I had a whole new awareness. So I'm like, no, I show up because I had this internal, like, you better show up. If you're not, you know, I'm like, oh. So I went and I showed up every single day. And I decided, it's like, you know what? I want to be a Napoleon Hill coach. And I looked online, and I didn't know at the time. The Institute just restarted in January of this year of 2023. So when I looked up to become a Napoleon Hill coach, the only thing that showed up for me was the Napoleon Hill Foundation, which, oh my gosh, I love them so much, right? And so I signed up there to become a coach, right? And then I would show up to the webinar, which was a Zoom call, and one of my friends sent me a message. She goes like, "Oh my God, it's so good that you're here." I'm like, "Yeah, I just signed up to become a coach." And she got so excited. Well, she thought I signed up with the Institute. I didn't know there was a difference.
Okay.
Right. And well, the next day her and I and another friend met, and I signed up with the Institute to become a coach right then and there. And I kid you not, 2 weeks later, they had the founding member celebration in New York. I got on a plane. That was the first time I treated myself to a first class plane ticket. I don't think I want to fly anything else again. It's so good.
I know, I do. I love it.
Right. So I went to New York, and the rest is history. You know, and now I get to really dive even deeper into Napoleon Hill's principles and his teachings and everything. And because of that, I have the opportunity and the honor really to bring it to the masses. And here's the thing, is it really is stupid simple. It is so simple. It's not easy, you know, because you still have to put in the work. You still have to do what you have to do. The question is, how badly do you want to change your life? You know, so I mean, it is just, it makes my heart sing.
Now, are you able to, for a woman out there who's saying, "Well, something I really would need in my life, I really want to do," is that something that they would connect with you,
Yes.
and you can get them introduced to it, or you can sign them up to be a part of it? I don't know how it works, but tell them how they can reach you.
Okay, if you're interested in coaching, please reach out to me. You can find me at mattersofperspective.com. It's my website. There's my contact info on there. And the other thing too is, if you thought about becoming a coach, being a coach, please reach out to me. This program, the training we're getting, oh my goodness, I have not ever in my whole life I've received training and guidance and support I'm just like, wow. There are no words. I am so excited about this, right? And it is so good. I have learned so much since I joined, you know, because it's like our master coaches, they're gracious, and they teach us classes, and they bring in, and the Institute brings in more experts, you know, how to do your social media, how to show up on Zoom, how to, you know, I mean, all the things that I never even really thought about. We're all learning this. So if you guys think about becoming a coach and helping people, because I know I know you want to help people. I want to help them. And I know your audience, we all want to help others, you know, and there's so many different ways you can do it. It's like writing books and talking and coaching and you know, just being a good human being.
Right. Exactly.
I love that. Yeah.
So,
Can I talk about this?
Like that's what I was just going to ask you about. But tell us about your book,
Oh,
and
I just lost one of my books. So I have to share this because he's showing up. I don't know if you can see my dog here, but he says, please share this. So my dog wrote a book. It's called Mother Service Dog because every dog has a purpose. I shared it. You can go now.
well, it's always there.
Yeah, that's a whole. I actually did an interview with him. It's on the YouTube channel. If you go to happinessmatterstv.com, you find the show with Cheryl and with my dog and so much more. But anyway, so I'm like, I'm so excited. So this is my passion project. Okay, this is my heart project, my give back to the world project. Okay, so this book is called Happiness Matters. You are not alone, because you are not alone. Whatever it is that you're going through or not going through, you are not alone. And here's the thing, others need to hear your story. Because Lisa Nichols, when I took Lisa Nichols' class, right? And I love her. Oh my God, she's amazing. What hit me so deeply is when she said, your story is not yours to keep. Think about that. Listen, hear this again. Your story is not yours to keep. You know, you might, and I can see some of you because I get it all the time. It's like, well, I don't have a story. I don't have stories. Yes, you do. We all do. Our life is made up of stories. Your day yesterday is a story, right? And it doesn't have to be hardship. It doesn't have to be like overcoming monumental things, you know. I mean, you can share that too, but it doesn't have to be. If it's something that made you laugh so hard, share that story.
Right.
And I want to put it in here. This is volume 1. Okay, volume 2 is coming out shortly, and then I'm working on all the others.
Right.
But this is really people sharing their stories of inspiration, encouragement, motivation, and more. And most of all, it's to spread hope and happiness. And
I love that.
And the info for that is on my website as well, mattersofperspective.com. But this is really this because sharing a story, when I wrote my first book, sharing my story was very therapeutic for me. And then when I read other people's stories, it is also very therapeutic for me. So
yeah, I know your story in the Becoming 50-something first volume was so inspiring.
Thank
it's
you.
like we had met, but I didn't know your story. And after reading that, my perspective on who you were changed, and also to know that, because there was a time when things are just really crazy for me, and I was hitting that 50 something. I was really just bordering on being depressed, and
right.
And then I thought, well, nothing's happened to you to make you this, go together, do something. And that's what I got from your book. And I believe It's Never Too Late. Was that your story? Or
I think so.
Never,
yeah, or something like that. I don't remember. I was part of so many collaboration books.
Oh, but you really talked about it. It's never too late to make that change.
And it is never too late.
Right. And so for those ladies, you have a story that you want to share and connect with me, and so you can connect with me and get my next book as well. There's nothing wrong with sharing your story to a lot of different venues, because there are different audiences looking.
Exactly. Right.
And
the thing too is I get asked a lot of times, because I mean, I reach out to so many people. It's like, hey, share your story for this book. So there's no charge to be in this book. You're not getting paid to be in this book. Okay. But 25% of the proceeds go to a nonprofit. And then you also have the option. What I do is, because I want to give you a thank you. In the back of the book, you get to share a paragraph of you with your contact info, and that goes in the book. So, I mean, this is truly a win-win. I want this to be a win-win for everybody.
Right.
And it's really, really to spread hope and happiness. It matters.
It's wonderful that everywhere that I've seen you, that's what you're doing. So tell a woman right now she's all excited now. She's listened to everything that you said, and she's still like, I just don't know if I can change. Give us just one little tidbit or one tip for that person who is just sort of bordering on making a change that will affect the rest of her life, which I believe in your 50s, the rest of your life is the best of your life. So can you give us a tip to that one woman who's listening?
The best thing I can do you is make the decision. If it's go into your heart, put your hand on your heart, breathe into your heart, go into your heart and say, okay, what is it you want me to do? You already know the answer. That's the key. You already know the answer, but you let your conscious mind, the gremlins, talk you out of it. All the people around you, but they come from their own fears. Don't listen to them. Listen to your heart. Go in your heart, and it's like, find out what is it that lights you up? What is it that gets you excited? For me, it has always been making people smile. My whole life, it's always been making people smile, right? Find that one thing. It's like Napoleon Hill talks about the definite major purpose, and then make a decision to run with that. And you will be amazed. You will be amazed, and be open too, but you'll be amazed all the people and circumstances and things that will come to way. But you have to make that decision. Put the fear aside. Find out where that fear is coming from. Is it really your fear? Probably not. Most of the time, it's not even our own fear. It's a fear that we adopted from other people, right? Make the decision and trust in your higher power to guide you, to help you, and to give you everything you need. I'm prime example. Cheryl is a prime example.
It's so true.
But listen to your heart and just do it. Just do it. Just go for it. And, reach out. I mean, if you need help, you reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you.
Mattersofperspective.com, right?
Yep. Mattersofperspective.com.
And we will put her URL in the comment section, so you can just click and go and find out about Beanie. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. It's been so inspirational to me, and like I said, you always make me feel the happiness around me, and you remind me to be grateful, because I am grateful for everything in my life. Sometimes we forget, and people like you help us to remember all the things.
Sometimes I forget,
I mean, it's just part of life. Yeah. So ladies, if you want to connect with Beanie about coaching, or just about maybe being a part of her next book, or just to find someone to just help you find that happiness within, be sure to connect with Beanie. And thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And ladies, remember that you want to live your best life, not tomorrow, not 3 years from now, but right now. This is your time. And thank you for joining us on the podcast today.